take you through a few updates, and we'll also entertain any updates from our partner agencies.
Thank you, Ms. Wilson, and thank you to your incredible staff. We always appreciate our incredible city staff and our partners from the county and our school districts and all of our partners, but in times like this, we really see what incredible professionals they are. I want to thank everyone for coming here and thank our friends in the media of the 4th Estate for the incredible work you do in helping us get important and relevant information out to our citizens who rely on us to share the information. We all know that Hurricane Michael is heading our way. We are currently under a tropical storm warning, flash flood watch tonight, 8 p.m. through Thursday night, 11 p.m. There's increased tornado threat to the Midlands of South Carolina. High winds, expect power outages, rain 3 to 5 inches. Obviously, as you all know, if there's an emergency, we want people to call 911. Call 911 if there's an emergency. If there's not an emergency, recognize that the non-emergency number to contact is 803-545-3300. Again, 803-545-3300. We want to assure our citizens that we're all working together, all of our friends and partners surrounding us, representing the business leadership, the civic leadership, nonprofit leadership that serves the Midlands all so well together. We have several of our providers here from the comment. We're going to have an update from the comment. Some of our representatives of our nonprofit partners who meet the needs of our unsheltered citizens and our homeless community, working hard to make sure we meet the needs of the entirety of Columbia's citizens over the next few days. And in Richland County will announce that they're working closely with the Red Cross as they do each time. There'll be a shelter opened up tonight at Kilburn Park Baptist, opening up at 8 p.m., 4205 Kilburn Road. And we've had close communication, obviously, with Palmetto Health, now part of Prisma. They are prepared and fully staffed, according to their leadership. They are prepared for any eventuality that might happen because of Hurricane Michael. And of course, Chief Holbrook will reference close and constant contact with the Sheriff of Richland County. He and Sheriff Watt will work very closely along with Chief Jenkins to make sure that we're providing our appropriate public safety response. I do want to make one statement, then I'm going to step aside and let our subject matter experts and partners speak. I know that we all, not just in the Carolinas, but certainly all along the East Coast, are suffering from a bit of hurricane fatigue, hurricane malaise, and believe that it puts us in a position where we can very easily and dangerously fall into the idea that we don't need to prepare as much because this is just another storm. This is a major storm. This is a dangerous storm. Let's make sure that we're preparing for any and every eventuality. I encourage everyone to visit our website at some point, columbiasc.net. It's also, I guess, columbiasc.gov as well. We'll also take you there. And our staff has worked to pull together a good bit of information from the web, just reminding us what to do before, during, and after a hurricane. Some very basic things that we've all learned living here in Hurricane Alley over the last several years, but it's important to remind ourselves that we must be vigilant. We must be prepared for anything to make sure we protect ourselves and our families and our property as much as we can possibly do. Be some simple things: making a plan, making a disaster kit, making sure you fill your gas tanks, making sure that if you can stay home, that you stay home, that you stay off the roads. If you stay off the roads, it increases the possible probability of you being safe, and also increases the possibility of our first responders being able to respond to those who may need their assistance. Also, recognizing the importance of the fact that more deaths and injury occur after a hurricane hits than during a hurricane. Some very simple, basic points that it'd be worth having a refresher class at home with your family this evening, making sure we're crossing our T's and dotting our I's, and make sure we all come out on the other side of Hurricane Michael safe and sound. We will continue to share as much information as we have it, closely working with not just our friends here regionally, but also with our state and our federal partners. And we will push out as much information as open and transparent as we possibly can to make sure you're prepared to do the things that you need to do to protect you and your family. So thank you again, everyone for being here. Thank you to our citizens for continuing to share the good word. Let's continue to be Columbia strong and South Carolina strong. Let's take care of each other. We are our brothers and our sisters' keeper, and we will make it through this together. We're going to pass it on. I think Chief Holbrook, you have a word.
Good afternoon. The sheriff sends his apologies. He had another commitment. I really want to just provide some reassurance to our citizens. Our public safety efforts, again, as we state always, and I think it's what we're most proud of, is our seamless response in situations like this, and our continued partnership and collaboration with the Sheriff's Department and the Fire Department, and really just a team approach to public safety. To re-emphasize and restate what the mayor said, really what is most critical to us is people stay off the roads, and we couldn't be more proud of the citizens that heeded that warning just a few weeks ago. When there's an emergency, it allows us to get to you to help, to save lives and prevent injury. A lot of this storm is going to hit tonight when people are asleep, so you'll see upstaffing from the police department. Barricades are pre-positioned in areas that we expect high water. We again ask, if you see water, you need to turn around and don't ever attempt to drive through high water. But we have high water vehicles that are prepared to respond at a moment's notice. And again, we ask our citizens to, as the mayor said, have a plan, partner with us to keep everybody safe, stay at home, be sheltered while we weather this storm together tomorrow. Thank you.
Chief Jenkins.
Thank you. Thank you all for being here. Just like Chief Holbrook stated, we're going to continue to work collaboratively together in public safety to make sure that we're able to respond to any situation that anybody may be in. So we'll, like I said, we'll continue to work together. We are going to be upstaffed with our normal staff, and of course we got people on standby just in case we can call more and help in. So we're sick and ready. Just want to reiterate some safety stuff. We may have some down power lines, so I just want to encourage the folks out there not to go near on power lines. Treat every down power line as if it's live. And I know some people, if they lose power, they're going to do one or two things. They can use a generator, use candles. My suggestion is not to use candles, because especially when these things occur late at night, early in the morning, you have a tendency to go to sleep with those candles on. Make sure you got a flashlight, and also generators. Just make sure that you're not running in garages or in the house. Because you want to make sure you're not getting what will come out of carbon dioxide. So just a few safety tips, and just hopefully we can get through this and just put everybody being safe.
Assistant City Manager Sheila. I'm sure you remember outside the camera shot.
Thank you, Mayor. Good afternoon. From a Columbia water perspective, we want to assure our customers that we are in a high state of readiness. We've been preparing for several days, and we are ready for the challenges that may face us with this storm. We're anticipating high winds, some potential power outages. We've been pre-positioning generators and testing, making sure everything's ready to go. We don't anticipate any water or sewer outages or service interruptions, but if you do have any issue associated with the storm that's non-emergency, as the mayor said, please call our customer care line, 803-545-3300, and our staff will respond as soon as it's safe for us to be out and to respond and restore service to you. You may be wondering about the health of our canal and the condition of that, and we're monitoring that very closely. We're controlling the water levels. We have shut a head gate to limit the inflow in case the river level does rise. We're not expecting the type of rainfall event that would impact the river level significantly or the level in our canal, but we're taking precautions just in case. We have pumping and piping equipment on standby just in case something unexpected did occur. So we're in a high state of readiness. Thank you.
Robert Anderson, Director of Public Works.
Thank you. From the Public Works staff, we are also prepared. We kind of kept ourselves a little bit ready for the last storm. We know our storm drain system has been cleaned. We've looked at it again, made sure the flood-prone areas have been cleaned. We've pre-staged, as the chief said, our barricades in flood-prone areas, which allows the police department or the Public Works staff to close the street a little bit quicker. We do not want you to drive in water that's over the road. Nobody ever knows how deep it is. But we also don't want you to drive around the barricades. The roads are closed for a reason, generally. Our forester crews are on standby right now. They'll be reporting to work about 5 a.m. in the morning for crews that we have any trees that come down. We want to remind everybody, as we did last storm, don't grab a branch out of the road unless you look very carefully. We just assume you not grab it because there could be a power line wrapped up in that that's still energized. So we would rather you leave that to the individuals that know what they're doing. The one change we have this time is our solid waste collection. Through some thought processes to make sure our crews stay safe with the wind speeds, we are canceling all solid waste operations tomorrow. We will resume them Friday. So if your garbage collection schedule or recycling collection schedule is on Thursday, it will be on Friday. Now, if it's on Friday, it will be on Saturday. So we'll resume our regular collections next week after that. Thank you.
Maybe some updates from our partner agencies.
Good afternoon, Greg Witherspoon, Richland School District 1. For us and for the districts, the concern tomorrow, especially in the morning, will be wind. When wind speeds get sustained winds around 30 or above, it becomes an issue for our buses. The majority of students in our district, they do ride buses, and knowing what's anticipated in that morning time frame, we did see it prudent to cancel school tomorrow. Again, because of that time frame when the majority of our buses would be out and about, and as has been indicated by other staff, possibility of downed trees and flooding and so forth. So over an abundance of caution, we have canceled school tomorrow. We'll continue to monitor, certainly tomorrow afternoon if the storm holds true to some of the predictions. Tomorrow afternoon might be clear. We'll check schools and those types of things and make a determination for Friday. But the school district will be closed tomorrow.
Dr. Marshall and Franklin from Richland School District 2. We want to recognize the fact that Commissioner Alea Mackey is here as well.
Good evening. We appreciate our parents' flexibility and understanding regarding the cancellation of school in Richland School District 2 tomorrow. The forecasted high winds, flash flooding, and possible tornadoes make traveling conditions unsafe for our students, our parents, as well as our school buses. District officials will assess the conditions of our roads and campuses after the storm passes tomorrow evening, and will communicate with parents and employees thereafter regarding the schedule of school for Friday. Again, thank you for understanding, and please be safe.
Thank you, Dr. Franklin. John Anda with the comment.
Good evening, John Anda from the comment. For the present time, the comment is running regular service. We are monitoring conditions. We do encourage our customers to call 803-255-7118 for our inclement weather hotline to get up-to-the-minute updates on any changes to the Comet fixed route and dark paratransit service. If we do make any revisions, we will notify the public as soon as reasonably possible.
Of course, I did also want to recognize the fact that we have County Councilman Norman Jackson, County Councilman Jim Manning, both here with us, and obviously if this report was made, this is awesome. You're full. Yeah, please. Okay. If you don't want to, it's
No, that's it.
Okay.
No, I'd like to thank the City of Columbia, the Mayor, and the manager for the work and the partnership they have developed along with Richland County. And for the unincorporated areas, falling trees is one of the most risks we have. So we're asking all residents in the unincorporated area to be mindful of falling trees and not to go around it. And for example, those who use wells with electricity, they may be out, so they could store proper water for may take a day or two if there are falling trees.
So I'm just reminding the folks in the unincorporated area to be mindful and vigilant of what's happening. Thank you.
Thank you. And of course, Mayor Pro Tem Devine and Councilman Howard Duvall here. We've been blessed to have incredible support and leadership from our federal partners as well. I have Senator Rams, the district representative here, Yvette, Dalton Treasurer from Congressman Clyburn's office here. We have incredible nonprofit partners here. Met earlier with obviously the Executive Director of Transitions, and we have the CEO of United Way, Sarah Foster here, and our Chief Business Leader, the CEO of the Columbia Chamber of Commerce, Carl Blackstone, here with us as well. Now, Harry always tries not to speak at these events, and it's thank you for being here with John as well. But Harry, you always have something worth sharing. Is that me, Rick? That's you. All right. Thank you for Harry, anything to share?
Sure.
We may have missed.
Thank you, Mayor. Just from the Office of Emergency Management here in Columbia, we're communicating with Richland County, the Emergency Operations Center there, our state partners, State Emergency Management. So we're in constant coordination. If we need, we have any unmet needs or our partners here, we'll be doing that. We'll be working, ready to go. What I would say is that we need our actions and your actions to be spot on. And what we mean by that is that everybody said here, we want to stay informed, prepare, outreach to your family, friends, and neighbors, think safety, and on a moment's notice, be able to activate your plan and make sure that you can follow the instructions of local officials. Thank you.
All right, well, as obviously you can tell, we try our best to be as inclusive as possible. Everyone here got the same notice that you guys got, so very short notice. I'm thankful that as we prepare for each of these storms or potential storms, that we've had robust participation from members of Richland County Council, from our City Council, every member of City Council, our school district elected representatives, and all of our partners as well. So be happy to try and answer any questions you all have. We got the whole team back here ready to answer questions. So you can look at me, but I might pass it on to someone else.
This is a question for Director Anderson. Just had a question about what else is being done to help in those flood-prone areas. I know you said barricades were already being set there just in case, but what else is being done to help those areas?
What we do is we go out and check the storm drainage system. We pull the grates. We make sure that anything that's obstructing a grate is cleaned out. We actually go into the creeks, make sure that there's nothing blocking the bridges. And if they are, we also remove them. Solid waste crews were out yesterday actually raking storm drains along with the street division to keep them free and clear.
And maybe a tad bit of a deep dive too. And some of us know exactly where some of the more flood-prone streets are in the city, the intersections that we should avoid for some of us who are more auditory learners. Main and Whaley Streets, Gervais and Lawrence Street, Wasserman and Henderson, Wasserman and Saluda, Hardin and Santee, Monroe and Maple, Wheaton Amherst, Adger and Devine, Wheaton Sumter, Wheaton Pickens, Hayward and Ravenel Streets, Pickens between Wheat and Green Streets, Barnwell and Pendleton Streets, Hardin and Reed Streets, Hardin and Calhoun Streets, Franklin and Marion Streets, Franklin and Sumter Streets, Columbia College and North Main, Bull and Laurel Streets. Probably a perfect opportunity, of course, to remind the citizens of the city and the region that we're making significant investments in our stormwater infrastructure. City Council voted just over 2 years ago unanimously on its very first stormwater bond that I guess we have 3 projects or 4 projects under construction now, with another close to 10 under design that we believe will be the right amount of investment in hard infrastructure and green infrastructure to help mitigate the effects of storms in the future. I know that King Park is under construction right now, on Bow Street, the North Columbia, Harlem Heights community as well. So we're starting to see the benefits of some of those investments already, but for posterity, these will be significant investments that will endure to the benefit of people across Columbia, Richland County, and Lexington County for years to come. We also have our very first green bond being issued by the city in December. Again, another investment in resiliency and green infrastructure.
can't believe I'm asking this, but after 2015, 16, 17, what's left in the city that we're keeping our eye on that got flooded out in 15, or bridges out, dams out? What sort of things do you have to look at that are left over from the last 3 years?
Obviously, who whispered that just now? Howard, was it because you, Howard? He wouldn't think that was my subliminal thinking. He was actually whispering to me. Obviously, we believe that all the folks that are standing around us have been duly representing the interests of the people of the city and the region, working hard together to address these significant needs. Some of those needs are obviously meant to be met locally, and almost $100 million dedicated to stormwater improvements. The aggressive investments in Clean Water 2020 have been revolutionary. We're talking about, by the time we're done, close to over $750 million invested in our water sewer infrastructure. Some of the investments that still need to be made in restoring our streams and repairing waterways across the state are still very real. And certainly, we believe and will continue to advocate, particularly with the assistance of our federal legislators, for increased investment from the federal government, particularly through FEMA, in mitigating some of the effects of Hurricane Joaquin. The restoration, full restoration of the canal, and investing in resilient infrastructure so that canal, which was first dug by Irish indentured servants almost 200 years ago and stood the test of time, needs to be built and rebuilt to the standards that will help it stand another 200 years. That is an exception that we believe that we prepare for in these unique times. That's when the federal government steps in and takes all of our collective wealth that we send to Washington, D.C. every April 15th and sends it back home, repatriates it back home for these significant projects. But the things that we're supposed to be doing here locally, I feel very strongly that all the people around here are stepping up and making some of these happen. Madam City Manager?
I was just going to say, Mr. Mayor, too, just to reassure the public about the dams, and of course we want to continue to work with state government on this, but the dams that are in the city limits, we do proactively work for them to be lowered. So Lake Catherine and Southeast Lake were lowered as well.
Sure. Councilman Manning.
Councilman Jim Manning, a lot of the dams that broke were along Gills Creek that went up through Richland County District 5, 6, and 8, and those dams have been rebuilt. They were old dams that weren't up to standards. The new dams are. Been out there, and those lake levels have been lowered in preparation for this. So what was a great cause of one dam breaking another dam, that has all been attended to since that time.
What's your level of concern or worry or anxiety today compared to before and during Hurricane Florence?
Well, I think I know one passes out hard copies of paper anymore, but let's make sure members of the media get that. Thank you, Councilman. Always a high level of concern. I think you prepare for the worst and you hope for the best. And it's so important that, again, we do not let storm or hurricane delays take over. We've got to remain engaged. If we prepare and over-prepare, and it saves one life, it was worth it. It was worth every hour and every minute. So still greatly concerned. This is a massive storm. This is a massive storm. And while we're all blessed, but the Midlands was particularly fortunate with Hurricane Florence. We don't want people believing that this is a non-event. This is a big deal, and we need to prepare for it accordingly. So greatly concerned is a fair assessment. What we passed out again is a hard copy of the do's and don'ts. How do you prepare for a hurricane? We're going to, again, post it on our website. We're going to tweet it, retweet it. If you're not following us on Twitter at City of Columbia, I encourage you to do so. Spend some time with your family tonight, over dinner, if you're watching the news, and just read over some little things that you can do, some that you don't even have to leave your house, just to be prepared for any eventuality. Let's just make sure that we come out of this on the other side the way we all want to, safe and sound, happy, and together. Thank you.